solving radical equations. And so we have some steps that we need to do. The first step we need to do is isolate the radical on one side of the equation. So basically that means get the square root all by itself. Everything else is on the other side. The second step, raise each side of the equation to a power in order to eliminate the radical. So basically you're getting rid of the square root sign, okay, or the cube root or the fourth root. Next step is to solve the resulting equation. And then finally, you need to check your results so that you don't have an extraneous solution. Now, for those of you that are wondering what extraneous means, what is the root word there that you see? Extra. Sometimes when we square something or we cube something, we can get an extra solution. And so basically, we need to check to make sure that we didn't get an extra solution. And you do have to check on all of these. Okay, so we're going to start with the very first problem here. It's the square root of x plus 2 plus 4 equals 7. So if you remember, very first step is isolate the radical. So that means I need to get it all by itself. And so to get it all by itself, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 4 from each side. So on the left side, I get square root of x plus 2. On the right side, I get 3. Okay, so that was step 1. Step 2 says that I need to, in this case, square both sides. So I'm going to square and square. So the square root and the square cancel. What does that leave me with? X plus 2, and that's going to equal 3 squared, which is 9. Final step is to do what? Subtract 2 from each side, so x equals 7. Now before I can circle this, I do need to check this and make sure if it works. So I'm going to come up here and plug in 7 for x. So I have 7 plus 2, which is 9. What's the square root of 9?
3.
3. So does 3 plus 4 equal 7?
Yeah.
Yep, so 7 is my answer.
Is it always going to be squared?
We'll see. We've got a few examples we're going to look at. So let's look at this one right here. Okay, so I have 5 equals the square root of x minus 2 minus 1. So what do I do first? Add 1 to both sides because I need to isolate that radical. So I get 6 to equal root x minus 2. What do you do now? Square both sides again. So on the left side I get 36 equals x minus 2. So what do I need to do to both sides now? Add 2, so what do you get x to equal? 38. So let's plug this in and let's see if it works. So if I plug 38 in here, I get the square root of what? 36. What's the square root of 36? So does 6 minus 1 equal 5? Yep. So we're going to go ahead and save the next 2 examples for tomorrow. And so if you're looking, these are going to be a little more difficult. Notice they have the 2 square roots. And we'll talk about how we solve those tomorrow. So if you get to your homework and you get to something like this, you can probably go ahead and wait, and we'll cover those. And so if you want to get started, here you go on page 433. 6 problems. Pretty straightforward. 23, 24, 28, 30, 32, and 34.
Are you adding on to tomorrow?
No.